our last episode, we finally set sail on our cross-Atlantic journey and spent a week battling our way through the Baltic Sea for 174 nautical miles to Lebohafen in Kiel, Germany. In this episode, we take you through the locks of the Kiel Canal and then cruise along the 98-kilometer passageway that connects the Baltic Sea to the North Sea. We meet the mighty Elbe River and the challenging North Sea on the other side on our way to the remote island of Helgoland. When considering a passage through the Kiel Canal, you must consider the ever-changing tides on the other side that make the North Sea unique and dangerous. Considering the tides of the North Sea is as important as deciphering the wind and the weather. The Elbe River dumps into the North Sea, but experienced sailors will tell you that you feel like you were offshore before you ever make the transition to the North Sea. We have tremendous respect for these powerful tides.
You see the depression, a significant depression with a 994 hectopascal pressure in the center, right south of Iceland. And it's moving southeast toward the North Sea. It's going to weaken a little bit, and it's going to reach the southwesterly Norway coast tomorrow. And this tail here is going to slap us right in the face tomorrow, and it will cause severe conditions in the North Sea, in the German Bight, that we need to cross on our way to the English Channel. We expect 7 to 8 southerly winds and significant wave heights up to 4 meters. And the German Marine Weather Service says we're going to expect severe gale force gusts. So this is not a condition that we want to sail in, and that's why we decided to enter the Kiel Canal today and seek shelter in Rendsburg, which is like 1/3 into the Kiel Canal, and just wait out for better conditions. The North Sea is, during gale force conditions, is rougher than the Baltic Sea, just because of the tidal currents that you have that may be against the gale, which increases the height of the seas and the danger of the seas. So right now we're sitting here in Logbook, which is just a little bit north of Kiel and the Kiel Firth. We are about 3 nautical miles away from the Kiel Holtenau locks, which are the easterly locks of the Kiel Canal. So we're hoping to lock an hour after departure, but we may encounter some waiting time here. And this is the Kiel Canal. By the way, it is the world's busiest artificial waterway in the world. It has more than 30,000 ship movement a year, and that's not considering even like leisure craft. So, and I plan, like in this area, we have Rendsburg, the city of Rendsburg. It's the only larger city at the Kiel Canal. And there are some lakes attached to the Kiel Canal, and there's anchorages and marinas, so we have plenty of opportunities here to just wait out what's going on over here.
Okay, good. And you can see on the chart here that if we don't go through the canal, we have a long way to go around Denmark to get to the same place.
Yeah, I mean, the alternative would be going through the belts, going through the Kattegat, going through around the Skagerrak, around Skagen, which is the northernmost point of Denmark, and then entering the North Sea. And these areas over here are very well known for very rough conditions. And I've sailed there before, and I've seen it, and that's not what we want to do to the dogs and to ourselves.
No.
The locking in procedure at the canal's entrance is a bit complicated. You can learn more details about this by watching Mike's Navigation Corner, Episode 2, The Lock-In Process. Just follow the link in the description below. We got through the lock safely and securely, even with some clumsiness on my part. So we did it. We are locked in, the doors are closed, and now we wait till we get the signal that we can pass through. Once inside, we cruised at the required slow pace and enjoyed the gorgeous scenery and huge ships. The Kiel Canal took 9,000 workers 8 years to dig, and after its opening in 1895, it had to be widened again in order to accommodate Germany's new generation of battleships. The Kiel Canal is a 98-kilometer waterway which slices the head of Denmark from the body of Europe, and in the process saves Baltic shipping 460 kilometers of detour. Originally called the Kaiser Wilhelm Canal and referred to in Germany as the Nord-Ostsee Canal, it was partly built for military purposes. During the last years of the 19th century, the newly formed nation was flexing its muscles, commercially as well as militarily, and it saw the distinct advantage of having a passage through wholly German territory between the Baltic and the North Sea. It can easily be transited within one day, although really big vessels sometimes have to wait in designated sidings before they can proceed. There's a lock at either end, but there's not a huge difference between sea level and canal level. The locks are mainly to defend the canal against the movements of the tides. About a third of the way through the canal, we moored in Rendsburg to wait out the storms. We worked on a little boat maintenance and unleashed the hounds. It was at this small port that we were able to connect with 3 very special sailors: Norbert Drucker, Bernd Oltmann, and Basti Kraus. Our ship, Seefalke, has only had 3 owners in her 44-year life, and all 3 of them were together here tonight. During Norbert's childhood, his father owned Seefalke, and they sailed her for 35 years. He sold her to Bernd in 2009. Bernd is the president of VBS, a sailing club in Bremen, and Seefalke was the crown jewel of the club for 8 years until Bernd sold her to Mike last year. Basti is a professional sailor and now a member of Norbert's racing crew. He also spent many years sailing Seefalke with VBS.
The biggest sailing ship in our club, and for us, we always had only small ones, and then the Seefalke came. It was unbelievable. It was good. But then we decided, to sell it. You know the story, and then you took over, and you are only the 3rd owner.
Only the 3rd owner.
Built 73, only the 3rd owner.
That's amazing.
It means also a lot,
Yeah.
And as youngsters, we were young. And then I can remember this Nobby's parents or father, he allowed us to sail this once, So then we were young, and then it was such a big sailing boat. It was for us really exciting. And
yeah.
With some friends, we went to Helgoland, and it was a lot of fun with this boat. And it was the first big sailing boat where I was sailing on, and it's amazing, and still looks same like this time. So. It's great to see her again before she crosses the ocean. So,
yeah, that was really cool hanging out with those guys last night, huh?
Yeah, imagine, the boat is 44 years old and only had 3 owners. And this says something about the boat, right?
Yeah.
If the boat would be good, if they wouldn't like the boat, if the owners wouldn't like the boat, they would get rid of it after 1, 2, 3 years. But nobody would keep the boat for 30 years or for 10 years even.
Right.
And the first owner, whose son we met yesterday, he sold it to his own sailing club to let newbies get acquainted with sailing. So I think that says something about the character of this boat.
It was really cool how they were talking about that Seefalke was like the star of the sailing club.
Yeah, and I remember when we sailed Seefalke from Bremen to Stralsund, that in the area of Bremen, like Bremerhaven, Cuxhaven, Helgoland, Seefalke was a celebrity. Just because of the coloring and because of, the personalities of the VBS, that club, In Seefalke, everywhere we came in the North Sea, somebody was there who knew Seefalke.
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought it was cool how they said they were so happy we didn't paint her.
Yeah.
That we kept her that bright orange color.
And they said the same thing. I mean, Bert said the same thing. At first he hated it. He hated it really badly, and later he started to love it, and then he didn't want anything of it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I love how no matter what marina we're in, we can always spot Seefalke.
Oh yeah.
We headed out early the next morning to finish our voyage through the Kiel Canal. We knew our weather window for entering the North Sea would be Wednesday, so we had a full day to take this light cruise. The wind and tides were perfect, and it was early afternoon when we reached the end of the canal. So we decided that rather than mooring at Brunsbüttel as originally planned, we would lock out of the canal and then head on to Cuxhaven, which is another port about 20 nautical miles along the Elbe River, close to the mouth of the North Sea. When you get to the North Sea, it's no longer about clocks. It's all about the tides. There's a legend among North Sea sailors about the power of its tides. It goes something like this. There's a monster living beneath the North Sea, and it is forcefully breathing in and out. Each breath takes 6 hours. The 6-hour breath in is the low tide. The 6-hour breath out is the high tide. Sometimes the monster has a hiccup, and this is called a spring tide. On this day, we had the winds and the currents in our favor. It was a full day of perfect sailing, the mere definition of fair winds and following seas. We made it to the remote island of Helgoland in about 8 hours. We explored this amazing island and visited the Migrating Bird Observatory at the top of Red Rock Mountain. We enjoyed a day of rest and caught up on some of our real work and got ready for our trek across the North Sea. In the next episode, we will take you on this challenging journey as we took advantage of the rare North Sea easterly winds and sailed 317 nautical miles in 4 straight days and 3 nights without stopping all the way to Dunkirk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Be sure to check out our online blogs for deeper content about all of our adventures. And if you want to follow us in real time through our GPS satellite tracker, please join our crew on Patreon. All the links are in the description below.